Hello everyone. Our today's concept is FP growth algorithm. Right? FP growth algorithm is one of the algorithm for finding frequent item sets from the given data set. Right? By using this FP growth algorithm, we can find out the frequent item sets, right, from a given data set. Okay, if you want to develop an efficient frequent pattern tree based frequent pattern mining method, then here we are in need of, if you want to develop an efficient FP mining patterns, then we need to have a divide and conquer methodology. And second one, we are going to avoid candidate generation. We are going to avoid candidate generation. These two steps are important for the mining of frequent patterns in FP growth algorithm. First of all, let us see how to construct a FP growth, how to construct the frequent patterns tree, FP tree. Then we would go for mining of frequent patterns, right? Okay, now FP tree construction from a transactional database. Okay, first we need to construct FP tree. So for example, here we have given one database. Okay, assume this is the one database data transactional database information with the transaction ID numbers as well as items brought by a customer. Right. If one customer with the transaction ID is 100, okay, was purchased the items of F, A, C, D, G, I, M, P, and so on. These are the items list purchased by a one customer. His transaction ID number is 100. Like that, the remaining person's transactions IDs as well as the items purchased items are mentioned here. This is one database. Clear? Now, by taking this database, here we are going to construct a FP tree. How it is possible means how we are going how we are going to construct one FP tree based on these given data set is, first of all you need to take each and every individual item as a set. Okay, each and every individual items as a set, which means FP is one item set. Okay, second A and C, D, G, I. So same here, I'll write here. Okay, okay. So create, scan this database and create the sets of single items like F, A, C, D, Z, I, M, P, F, L, I, M, and P, P, F, L, N, O, etc. After, okay, after making the individual sets, and try to write the support count of each and every item set. These are the item sets, right? So we should represent now the support counts. F is how many number of times the F is exists in this database. Obviously, it's 4 times. Obviously, it's 4 times, right? So like that, you need to represent for each and every, okay, sorry, for each and every item set. So then after representing the support count of each and every item set, then in step 2, you need to initialize the minimum support count. You need to initialize the minimum support count. So my minimum support count is 3. My minimum support count is 3. Then check each and every item set is equal or greater than 3. Whose item sets values are equal to 3 or greater than 3, then represent within the table, within this table. Okay, which item set is less than the 3, then better to remove such kind of item sets. For example, here after D. So D only repeats only one time. The value of D is only one time. One customer is bought, purchased this. Okay, only the frequency of support count of D is only 1. Okay, as well as the support count of G is 1. And the support count of I is also 1. 1. The support count of M. Now the support count of M equal to 3. Okay, it's 3, but I equal to 1. So which item sets is less than the 3, then remove the all. So which means this D and Z. Okay, D, G, I, and so on. Even N, O, like L is repeated 2 times. L, then so these are the removed uh, removed item sets, removed items, right? The remaining item sets, whatever we have, the support count is okay greater than or equal to 3, all are should be written in this table, right? Then what we have to do? First of all, after taking all the values and arrange these items in descending order, which means which support count is greater, then represent high, first position, and like that. This is 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, like that. You need to arrange all the items, okay, based on their support count and in descending order. Based on this, okay, this order, you need to create the frequent item sets. Like, see, now, okay, for example, now some of the item sets are removed, right? So for example, here D is removed, right, from this set. Right. D and G and I. Okay, these three are removed. What are the remaining item sets we have? F, A, F, A, C, M, P. Okay, arrange these 5 items in descending order as per this table. In descending order as per this table. Right, first F. Okay, F. It is the highest support count value, right? So that's why same. Then A. Okay, so A has only 3. So which one is the highest support count out of these? C. So return C. Then, so A, M, P. Like that, you need to represent the ordered frequent item sets. Ordered frequent item sets. Okay, based on this item frequency. And the same here also, remove the L and O. L and O. After removing L and O, arrange these item sets into descending order manner. So F C A B F C A B M, like this, right? So you need to do the same for the remaining transactions also. So then we have some ordered frequent item sets. These are the ordered frequent item sets, right? So based on these ordered frequent item set, now we are going to construct a FP tree. Okay, these are the ordered frequent item sets. Based on these item sets, here I am going to construct a FP tree. So what is the first step? Okay, here the first step is scan the database. Okay, scan the database and make each and individual item as a set item set. Then calculate the support count for each and every item set. After calculation of the support count for each and every item set, fix or assign minimum support value. It is 3. Then compare all the item set with this value. Okay, whichever item sets has greater than or equal to 3, those can be, okay, those can be represented here. Okay, which item sets have less than the 3, then remove all the items from the set, right? After finishing this, I mean arrange these all these items based on their support count, and it's in a descending order, right? After arranging in descending order, okay, better to then generate ordered frequent item sets based on this table. Generate ordered frequent item sets based on this table. So this is the process of generating ordered frequent item sets. Then based on these ordered frequent item set, now how to construct a FP tree, we'll see in next slide. Okay. So how to construct this one is, so I have taken here transaction ID numbers as well as ordered frequent items. Okay, then the items support count, as well as here I have represented minimum support count of the minimum support count value also. Okay, then what we have to do? First of all, for the construction of FP tree, you need to represent a root node. That root node must be a null. Okay, the representing of root node is null, or sometimes you may call the root. Okay, so after the construction of the root node, or you may write with a null, then what we have to do? So take the first transaction ID. Okay, this is the first transaction ID. So what are the items in first transaction? In the sense, construct root root. So F from root, then F from F, C, C to A to M, M to P, C to A to M, M to P. Like this, you need to create one branch from here. Okay, now how many number of times we have visited F, C, A, M, P? Only one time. So you need to put one colon. You need to use one colon, then write 1. And for C also colon 1. A also colon 1. Like this, you need to represent one branch for your first transaction. And like that, next, what about next? After completion of this one, better to move for the second transaction. In second means FCABM, FCA. So F is visited 2 times now. So F value is 2, C value is also 2, A value is also 2, FCA. Okay, what are the values? FCA. Next BM. So from A to B, we didn't have any direct connection, right? So better to split A into A has a right child, that is B. Okay, from B to M, from B to M. So how many number of time B visited here? Only one time. In this part, M is also visited only one time, right? So you need to represent colon 1, 1, colon 1, here also colon 1. So like this, you need to create the branches for FP tree based on these item sets. Okay. Okay. This is the creation of first one. FCAMP, FCAMP. Each one is visited only one time for first transaction. Coming to second transaction, like this. See, F is visited 2 times, C is visited 2 times, A is visited 2 times, and BM. Okay, so B is a right child for A, and M is only child for B, right? Like this. This is the path 2. Path 2 for second transaction. Path 1 for first transaction. Like that, what about path 3, which means the 300 transaction FB. Where is F? And here you want to create a B in the sense, automatically you need to take right child, and this is the, here you can represent the B. And how many number of time B is visited here in this path? Only one time. But F value is increased to 3. F B now, so like this. After that, CPB. So we didn't have any previous node. C is the node, right? So that's why we have attached this. C is for root node. Okay, this is C. From C to P, and P to B. Okay, how many times we have visited C? 1. And P is also 1. From this part, P is also visited 1 time, and C is visited 1 time. B is also visited 1 time. This is another path. Okay, so last, this is the one. FCAMP. FCAMP. Already it is there now. So F is visited 4 times, C 3 times, A 3 times, M 2 times, P 2 times. Okay. So this is the construction of FP3. This is the construction of FP3, right? This is the final tree for the construction of FP3 for the ordered frequent item sets. Then after this, here, if you cross check this one, if you cross check this constructed tree with these values, it is with these the table values with this table, then it would be equal to this. Why? Because see, F is F support count is 4, right? So F is 4, directly it is there here. C is 4. C is 3 at this place, and 1 time 3 plus 1 4, and A is 3, directly here we have A is 3, B equal to 3, and B equal to 1, here 1 time, and here second time, and here third time. 1 plus 1 plus 1 3. Like this, if you check this constructed FP tree with the L1, it is 100% match. Okay, then so what are the benefits of FP structure? Here we have represented two benefits. First one is completeness, second one is compactness. Completeness means it never breaks a long pattern of any transaction. So how much it would be constructed, how much long it is grown, we would allow that much in FP3. And coming to the second one, it would preserves the complete information of frequent pattern mining. Okay, it would preserve the total information of frequent patterns mining. And coming to compactness, it reduces the irrelevant information, and the frequency would represent by using descending order. And the third one is never be larger than the original database. It never is larger than the original database. Compared to original database size, it is less only. Why? Because by taking with minimum support count, here we are reducing or pruning some of the item sets from starting to ending itself, right? That's why we can't I mean the FP3 growth never be larger than the original database. Okay, these are the benefits of some FP3 structure. Coming to mining of frequent patterns using, till now we have constructed FP3, right? FP3 construction is over. Now what we have to do? Mining of frequent patterns using constructed FP3. For that, here we have some steps. What is the first step? It's a general step is general idea of divide and conquer policy, which means recursively grow frequent pattern path using the FP3. We need to visit, or we need to read the FP3 frequently. Okay, and in second step, the method is for each item constructs its conditional pattern base. So how many number of items we have? Okay, for those items, we need to construct conditional pattern base and then its conditional FP3. Repeat the process on each newly created conditional FP3. Then until the resulting FP3 is empty or it contains only one path, you need to continue these steps. Let us see what is conditional pattern base and conditional FP3. Okay, now we are going to mining the frequent patterns from the constructed FP tree, right? Let us see what it has. Okay, this is the conditional pattern base. Now we are going to, okay, now we are going to start with last item in order. What is the last item in order is P. So P is the last item set in order. Follow node pointers and traverse only path containing P. So and this is the one, and here also we have P, right? Right, two P's. Accumulate all the transform prefix path of that items to form. So you need to travel from bottom to top. What is the path of P? Okay, path of P is, that is, P is from M is from A is from C is from F, right? So F, C, A, M, P is repeated 2 times. This is the conditional pattern base for P. What it is? So how many number of time this path is repeated for P? It's obviously 2 times. Why? Because the P value is here 2, right? That's why we have visited this total path in 2 times. What are the item sets within this path? F, those are F, C, A, M, F, C, A, M, F, C, A, M, right? Or 2 times. We have visited 2 times. Then coming to this P. So this P is from B and it is from C. CB. CB is 1 time. Okay. This is the conditional pattern base for P. Like that, like this, you need to create for each and every item set, like M, A, C, B, for each and every item set. Okay. Then we'll move to the next slide. And also you need to take considering into the support value. Always the support value is greater than or equal to 3 times. Already we have defined one support, minimum support button. Then already we have defined the minimum support count is 3. So here you need to, this is a conditional pattern base. Next conditional FP is, so which one is repeated 3 times, which mean which item set is repeated 3 times for P. F only 2. C is here 2 times, here 1 time. So automatically the C value is here 3. Okay. And what about A? A only 2 times. M is also only 2 times. B is only one time. So out and out, if we have taken FP conditional frequent pattern T, that is C is 3 times for probability of with P. Okay, highest probability C equal to 3 by P. Like this, we can define a conditional frequent pattern tree, right? That is CP. That is CP. The remaining items are rarely a combination for with P, but C is a best combination, right? This is for P. Like this, you need to calculate for remaining items. Okay, see, now we are going to calculate for m. Now here we are going to calculate for m. So this is m is appear in this path and this path. Okay, at this path f is 2. Sorry, m is 2. M is 2 means f c a m. F c a m. So f c a is 2. F is 2 times, C is 2 times, A is 2 times. So that's why M is 2. And this path F A C B one time. F C A B one time. Okay. So overall F is repeated 3 times. C is repeated 3 times. A is also 3 times. Right? Overall, for each and every item is repeated 3 times. These 3 are the equal to the support count, minimum support count, right? So M is M. All frequent patterns that M includes are FM, CM, AM. This is 2 items. Coming to 3 items, only this is 1 item M. Second item set is FM, CM, AM. Third, 3 item sets, combination of 3 item sets is FCM, FAM, CAM, and combination of four items are FCAM. So these are the total number of frequent items for M. Okay, and now this is the final table for that. For the mining of frequent patterns, that is conditional pattern base. Conditional pattern base. This is the conditional pattern base for individual item sets. If P, already we have seen it is FCAM2 and CB1. Finally, C:3. It is under conditional FP tree. It is a conditional F pattern base. It is conditional pattern frequency tree. Okay, and for M is FCA2, FCAB1, finally F3, C3, A3 by M. So like that, you should calculate for each and every individual item. If some items are coming less than the support count, then we should remove that particular item. And if some items are not formed more frequent sets, then you need to take only that as a single item set, right? This is about mining of frequent patterns. Okay, mining of frequent patterns from the constructed uh, constructed tree. Okay, these are the frequent patterns. Clear?